Hey all. So, second to last war of the season here against x5e. We very badly needed to win this one. We were knocking on the bottom border of Tier 1 and needed another Tier 1 win to clinch Masters, so we knew that if we lost this one, even if we won the next, it would very likely be in Tier 2, and so this was kind of a must win. We did that to ourselves, but, once it happens, you need to deal with it. So first up here is Hyperion against Magneto. Very simple fight because Magneto is Conduit, Hyperion's sick and tired, and Magneto doesn't really have anything that answers Hyperion because he is non-metal and doesn't deal in shocks or bleeds. So very, very simple there. And then we move right on to Apocalypse here. And I gotta admit, there was definitely a split second where I was like, oh, and I'll just spam special ones because that's what I do with Hyperion against the Masochism over time node. And I caught myself on the way in because obviously that's not what I should do. Apocalypse would just go incinerate immune, and that would be a terrible idea. Luckily, from all of my time playing Tigra, that was an unintentional parry, obviously, but it's early enough in the fight, it's not a huge deal. From all my time playing Tigra, I'm extremely comfortable heavy countering Apocalypse's heavy, and so I could build some Furies on the way to my special 3, and we're just going to loop those. We're going to hit him until he falls over, and we're going to use the special 3 whenever we get it to keep things topped up. And that's all there's going to be for this fight. Our energy resistance is going to help us block special attacks when those come up, but Hype is just going to hit hard enough that it's not a concern. Like, look how little that took off right there. We're making very good time. It's honestly kind of refreshing in some ways to have a fight like this with Hype, because this is more the way that I used to play him, is just really leaning into the raw damage of his basics and his special 3, because that was kind of what the nodes used to ask for when I was running a 5-star Hyperion. And it's been kind of weird that now that I finally have him at rank 4, I was expecting that to kill, obviously. Now that I finally have him at rank 4, I've been using him so much as a sick and tired attacker, so I've been spamming the special 1, which is very often not what you do. So it is kind of nice to just get back to heavy counters and the special 3. I love Hyperion so much because there are many different valid ways of playing him depending on what the fight demands. So it was nice to see that again. Moving on to Omega Sentinel here on Chitinous Thorns. Claire is fantastic for this, even though and because Omega Sentinel is Nullify Immune, because that is still going to give Claire charges, and the bleeds that she's trying to trigger are also going to give Claire charges. And then as long as we sidestep into the special 2 to make sure that it doesn't glance, we're going to have buff immunity up, which is just going to completely remove these armors without actually needing to be a nullify. Additionally, because we are staying in the Blood Curse, we're getting lifesteal. That's going to top us off this entire time, which is nice if you get caught on a dashback like that. But basically, there's just not much to this fight. We're not really doing a whole lot of trading combos, so there's not really a chance for Omega Sentinel to build up armor ups that could cause us problems. And if she doesn't have any armor and you're healing up the chip damage, there's just not a whole lot to her. So this is going very well thus far. I did take a bit of a risk there by throwing the special 2 after a combo, despite her having armors up. It's not that that could have gone poorly, because everything else that I said would still be true. We aren't really trading enough basics for her to get to 5 armors, but it was a small risk that I didn't need to take. And then I think this tops us up. No, not quite. Okay, so we're going to need to block this. This is my only Claire fight, so block damage doesn't really matter, and then we finish it off. Nice and simple. I have missed using Claire. She is so good for this kind of fight. Moving right along, we have Green Goblin here. I've seen him a lot on nodes he doesn't benefit from this season, just as, I guess, a conduit defender that does block damage to try and make sending, I don't know, Corvus or Ghost more expensive. Not entirely sure what the rationale is, but either way, going to be very simple for Hyperion here. Now we are back to the tried and true sick and tired special one spam. We'll throw other specials if we have them, but for the most part, this is just this. Now, note that Green Goblin's, I believe it's Cunning, is the green one, is slowing down our power gain. In some ways, that is good because it's giving us time to throw more special ones before we get pushed to the special 2. Not always, as we just saw, we did have a special 2 there. But I think it might actually be kind of slowing down the special ones in between enough. No, this was more my memory. I don't think the power gain is working against us. I think it is working for us. This is just, I remembered this fight as having really bad incinerate luck, and that's definitely what's happening. Oh well, that happens sometimes. There aren't really any regen punishment nodes on this, as opposed to like Path 1B. And so we don't really have to worry about that. It doesn't matter how long it takes to get Green Goblin down. We know Hype is going to handle it. We can just take our time. Yeah. It's like the lowest uptime on heal block I've had in a Hype fight in a long time. It is what it is. And so then we just have one more fight. We have King Groot on node 50. You've seen me take this before with Hood. I have since used a generic on my Hood. So very happy to finally have him awakened. I do still have a couple generic gems in the vault. I consider this totally worth it. But this was kind of a weird fight. He did trigger a conduit debuff right around the time that I was planning on using my heavy. So obviously I couldn't do that because there was a high chance that he would regenerate it. I guess not a high chance, but, you know, unacceptably high, because that would have been wasting an incredible amount of cash out. So you're going to see how that happens, and part of what that means is I probably just should have made a point to cash out on the bullets earlier and lock in some damage he wasn't healing. Like, if I had done that right around here, then that would have been a big chunk, and yeah, in hindsight, definitely should have done that. Go ahead and activate invisibility here. We do at least have plenty of bullets, but yeah, I should have cashed in way earlier. Because see, there you go, now he finally has it. I go ahead and hit there to make sure that we keep our hex up, to make sure that the bullets don't expire, but no, I think I remembered this wrong, because I just clearly could have heavied here. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I was just baiting out this heavy. And then I could have here... I don't know what was in my mind here. I think I just got greedy, and then here I finally realized, uh-oh, I'm out of bullets. Why am I not heavying? Because the thing is that the refreshing the hex requires you to fire a bullet. And so when you run out of bullets, as I have now, you run out of the ability to keep your fate seal up. And then you can do things like this and have him trigger 21 Furies. Oh, this was so silly of me. Anyway, I throw this special 3. Again, I'm just not sure why I didn't heavy. I was clearly in a weird headspace here, because, like, that's definitely enough to kill. I think I was, like, maybe thinking in a Battlegrounds mindset? No, because I would have detonated by now for that. Yeah, I really can't explain what I was doing here. I also could have manually re-triggered invisibility there. I did see the cooldown pop up. Like I said, this was odd. Anyway, finally throw the heavy. And obviously it's more than enough. A very, very safe counter. And that was my War 11. We did end up winning this one. We died entirely too many times, but thankfully so did they. And so that probably secures Masters. We'll just see what happens in the last war. But until that one comes out, thank you all so much for watching, and take care.